Also wanted to mention that trash really is a sexy issue that we all had to find out the hard way. We do have a number of people across the country very involved in this. We have the EPA Director of Pollution Prevention, Matt Bogosian. He was on the stage in Washington, D.C. for Earth Day 2012. He's been carrying his trash all week. We have the U.S. Green Schools Director, Jim McGrath. He's been carrying his trash. He's actually been traveling and carrying his trash, which is kind of sketchy in the first place. We have Tara Sheehan. She is the CEO of Global. Sorry, she's the CEO.
Stop. Ready? 5, 4, 3.
We have Tara Sheehan. She's the CEO of Global Conscious Leadership. She's also the wife of Patagonia CEO Casey Sheehan, and he's in full support of this as well. We've got students, 4-H students across the nation. Like I said, we have 15 states on board doing this, and we're all learning. Are we just not learning, but we've had some very, very funny moments. You know, you're walking down the street and people go, "What are you doing?" And we tell them, and that's all about the plan here in the Trash in Your Back Challenge. It's to get the awareness out, it's to get the impact out there on what we can do differently and how that impacts our sustainability and our next generation's sustainability. So this is really, really important. And now what we're going to do is we're going to literally dig through our trash and put what's recyclable in this bin right here, and we're going to put what's non-recyclable in this bin here. And as Sue has said, then they're going to take it off to Rainbow for us and recycle it. So we're learning about the life cycle of trash. We're learning about our impact. And then next week on the show, we're going to have quite a few of the trash warriors on board talking about their experience in more detail. So please join us, and thanks for being a part of this.
And another thing I wanted to emphasize was the importance of sharing waste management and trash with young people. And the high school I teach at Huntington Beach High School has started its own sustainability program, and it is truly sustainable because it's funded entirely from our trash. And before, what we used to throw away is now become a resource for us, and we recycled 65,000 pounds of paper and cardboard last year, along with 2,000 pounds of plastic and aluminum. And we've turned that waste stream into a resource and funding our program with it. And teaching young people about the importance of trash and where to put it is crucial in this whole movement because they're the ones who are going to change the future. And I think it's really important to get them at a young age and teach them the importance of environmental stewardship.
Basically what we're doing here right now is we're going to take our week's worth of trash on our back and we're going to weigh it. So Joe Carcio's first up for the weigh-in.
So Joe Carcio is weighing in at 2.4 pounds of trash that he's been carrying around with him this week.
Way to go, Joe!
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Bobby from Aloha Grill is weighing in at 2 pounds even.
Nice job, Bobby from Aloha Grill.
Well, thank you very much.
You're in direct competition with our former mayor.
You so far have the lightest footprint of anybody here.
That's good to know. I work very hard at this. One napkin a day.
And what did you learn from it, Bobby?
Oh, I learned that we really don't need all of that extra stuff. The packaging especially. There's a lot of things that we can really do without. Like Joe pointed out, drinking out of glassware really makes a huge difference. Being able to use recyclable items certainly is always helpful, but things that you can wash and reuse again. So ordering with a cloth napkin is always a good idea as well. So things that our restaurants can use as well to cut back on the trash. This was my own personal, but we have an opportunity to make our restaurant a little bit more efficient as well.
We have 2.9 pounds.
Way to go, Rob.
Not bad.
So what'd you learn?
Well, I think most of the stuff in here is actually recyclable, and I think that probably the biggest thing I learned is that if you kind of attack it with a plan, you really don't have to produce any waste at all. It's just about thinking about going before you go out and doing all this stuff. I'd agree with Bobby that the packaging is one of the biggest things that's a killer. I mean, everything you buy from the store is in a box that's wrapped in plastic and then individually wrapped, so I think that poses a pretty big challenge. But I think if we just leave the house with a plan in the morning not to produce a bunch of waste, we probably won't.
There you go. That's such a good point. And you really thought about this, huh? I mean,
Had to. I was going to be carrying it around with me, so.
Was there anything that you stopped doing?
I think the biggest thing was just being better about like taking leftovers and putting them in Tupperware and then taking that for lunch the next day rather than going out to eat the next day or anything like that.
Point. This is really exciting to have you here because we just met last week on Earth Day on your birthday, and you were like, I'll do it. So thank you so much for doing this. And
Absolutely.
it was really interesting. You're the very first one also to get out there and do it both for your office and your business. And so I'm going to be very interested in seeing how much, the difference is.
Right.
So let's take a look. What is your weight?
This is
Lily has beat everybody so far with 1.1 pounds of trash, personal
Way to
trash.
go.
That is. Congratulations, Lily.
That's exciting. Now for her office trash.
All right, let's let that kind of rest freely for a second. Office trash is 8.2 pounds. A little bit bigger
Wow.
of an impact there.
well, okay. I agreed with Joe about the coffee thing, and I don't go out to Starbucks to get coffee generally. I usually have my coffee at home. But while I was at my networking meeting, I went to put creamer, and I don't usually use that kind of creamer, but that's what was available. And so I opened it up and I put it in and I realized, I just made more trash. So I could always just as easily ask for a little side of milk or something like that. In the office, I mentioned earlier about the styrofoam cups. Originally, when I first opened the business, I would always offer a glass of water, but I was concerned about people not being sure if it's very clean. So I think that the little bottles of water and then recycle them is a good idea, but I'm open to other suggestions. The other thing is bringing our lunch to work. I'm going to do it and encourage my staff to do it. And last night I made dinner. I didn't make dinner. I bought dinner. I bought a salad in a container. I could have just as easily have made one at home. So thinking about that sort of thing, just different ways that we really can make a difference and conserve.
Thank you so much, Lee, for doing this.
Absolutely.
So it looks like I am the last and final of the weigh-in. We got everybody, right? I'm afraid to say that I'm in the middle of moving, so I'm a little worried right now about my weight of trash. Did I knock us off the scale?
All right, Di, you're weighing in at about 4.6 pounds of personal
I am the
trash.
biggest. I'm the biggest heavyweight.
bigger-
Oh no!
Bigger consumer of everybody. And this is your idea?
That was my idea. I did not let anything not go in that bag, as you can see. And one thing I learned most importantly was that don't decide to carry your trash on your back when you decide to move the same week out of your home. So that was a lot, and you'll look inside and you'll see all kinds of packing materials and things like that. So I think we all learned quite a bit.